hey guys, welcome back. Episode 2 here, coming back here, Parma, Ohio.
Woo. Parma! Yeah. What do y'all know about Parma?
My name is Dan, along with Jordan and Paul once again, and we also got Jimmy here. We are living off the land. What's up, guys?
Not too much, man. It's been a good Monday so far.
No, it's been solid. I mean, let's face it, Angelos.
We had Angelos pizza. We're full of Angelos.
You're spoiling it, man.
Let's just give a little preview.
Oh, okay. All right.
Just a little teaser.
All right. Well, let's back it up before Monday. How's everybody's weekend?
It was good. I had a fun time Friday night. Saturday was way more chill. I also worked late, so I didn't really do anything Saturday night. But Friday was good. I went to Porco's. We talked about that in the last episode.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it was good.
Yeah, I didn't really have a choice in the matter. I was sick, so.
Still a little sick right now with your little roby.
Yeah, I'm just transitioning seamlessly.
Since no one can see, since this is a podcast, and we're not big enough to have video yet. Paul is wearing a robe.
Keyword yet.
Yet. Yeah, keyword is yet. But Paul's wearing a robe. Everyone, just want everyone to know.
A majestic flannel robe, Al Borland style.
What can I say? I mean, I'm very influenced by the name of our podcast, the most recent Justin Timberlake album.
Oh, okay.
The fact that I've been wearing plaid since before it was cool.
Okay.
So, yeah.
But I don't think I've ever seen a plaid robe, but that's pretty cool.
Well, here it is.
Yeah.
All right. Well, since you were working, you were sick, I actually went out and did something.
Dan did something unique this Saturday.
Yeah, I went to Forrest City ShuffleBoard for the first time. I wanted to go for a while, so we'll talk about that a little bit later.
Yeah.
Other than that, didn't do too much, I guess. But let's kind of talk about what we're going to get into tonight. We're going to do a little sports talk. There's a lot going on with the Cavs. Obviously, they're starting to get healthy in the home stretch here before the playoffs.
Yeah.
Yep.
We're also going to hit on a couple key injuries that could impact the Cavs a little bit as they go into the playoffs here.
I wonder who those injuries would be.
We're also going to touch on the Indians a little bit. They're about to start up on Thursday night in Seattle, 10:05. We're going to talk a little bit about that and just some Browns talk. There's a big rumor mill going on.
No shortage of rumors.
Yeah, going on today.
One of my boys.
A certain wide receiver that might be available for the right price. So, but then, we're going to get into restaurants and bars that we've been to recently.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Jordan, Paul, if you just kind of want to briefly go over what we're going to talk about.
Yeah. So you go first, Paul.
So coming up first, let's go over the Cavs, who have managed to put together a little bit of a streak. I believe it's 5 in a row now, 5 games in a row that they've won, and the lineup's starting to come back together. Players are coming back healthy. You have players like Nance, Tristan Thompson, Hood. You've got them all coming back in. LeBron is again playing at just an all-time level. So, how do you feel right now? As compared to let's just say a week ago when we did the last podcast, and how the Cavs are moving forward, how the team's coming together, and what that looks like for the playoffs coming up.
All right, yeah. Obviously they've won 5 in a row now, so they're kind of hitting a stride. They're getting all their guys back healthy. I think who did they play before Brooklyn? It was Phoenix at home.
It was like a garbage.
Yeah, it was Phoenix.
Yeah, it was.
Phoenix.
They got Nance, Hood, Tristan Thompson back. I think the only guy that's still out is Jetty, and then Korver's still out because he with the death of his brother.
Oh, right. That's not an injury, right? He's out because of personal time.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, so he's missed the last few games, but yeah, they looked. Obviously it was Phoenix the other night. Before the Brooklyn game, Phoenix is god awful.
Yeah, they're just trash.
So, I was expecting us to beat them by 25 or something, but it was good to see Nance get back. I'm really excited to see how Nance, Love, and LeBron kind of develop a chemistry as a front court.
Yeah, you've been mentioning that several times.
Yeah, and even George Hill the last few games has really started to find his niche role type deal with the Cavs, but yeah.
This is gonna sound simple, but there's no bad vibes you're getting right now from these new guys getting back from the injuries. It's looking good. So why be negative about it? I think these are good signs. It's working so far, and how's it gonna hold up in the deep playoffs. How is it going to hold up against a Western Conference team? Who knows? But for now, there's no negatives necessarily. They're all kind of clicking a lot better. I mean, and they're still, like you said, they're still missing a lot of players. And Kevin Love's back though. That's the main thing. Like I think that's the main thing that everybody was waiting for. So
yeah, no, it's huge for LeBron to have a number 2 again, like a true number 2.
Right.
Because let's face it, when you lose, Kyrie was a number 2 when he was here.
Well, but you know what's funny? Kevin Love, a lot of people who don't know enough about basketball, looked at Kevin Love of the Timberwolves and was like, "Oh, he was so much better." Yeah, but you gotta. He was the number 1.
Well, he was their
so
offense.
he's forced to do more and play more.
It.
Then he comes to the Cavs and he's actually the number 3.
Right.
And now he's literally the number 2. And it's not a surprise to me that he's blossoming.
No.
I mean, the guy's a beast. We know that. Like he can shoot, he can score, he can rebound, he can do all these things. So yeah, I think it just makes sense what we're seeing is what I'm trying to do.
I mean, he's a 20 and 10 guy in his sleep. I mean, you don't have to worry about him.
Right.
Like
No.
When we had Kyrie and he had to drop back to the number 3 role, it was he had to kind of pick his spots. Now he can kind of take over a little bit more. LeBron is way more comfortable with him on the floor, just because he has a guy that he can just throw the ball to, and the guy's going to go get a bucket for him.
And he's a vet now, so like LeBron knows he's not going to. 9 times out of 10, he knows he's not going to do something stupid. Yeah. Like he's going to probably take a good shot. He's going to take a high percentage shot. He's going to. Yeah. So it's good. And I don't think there's any.
What about? I mean, It's easy to take for granted now because he does it all the time, but like, how good is LeBron? I mean, seriously,
he's ridiculous. We talked last time we were talking about his ridiculous. The first time in NBA history someone had 35, 15, and like no turnover. I mean, the guy's a monster. He scores when he wants to. Really, he's still holding back. He's starting to get in playoff mode.
Yeah,
you
that
see the
zero dark 23 mode that he does.
When you see the dunks, when you see him dunking again, you're like, all right, he's getting close.
Yeah, he had another poster on.
In Brooklyn.
It was Joe Harris.
Yeah,
kind of the same one he had against Nurkic a couple weeks ago.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
No, he's a player that definitely, without question, actually enforces his own will when he's on the court, as opposed to, not to take away from other players that are great, but yeah, LeBron's the best player.
Yeah. It just literally looked like he was goofing around against Brooklyn yesterday, and he had 37, 10, and 8.
Right.
And like that 3 that he hit near the end of the game,
where
he took it from like
clutch one,
he took it like 5 feet behind the line, and he knew it was going in as soon as it left
like
his
an
hands.
attitude.
He started swinging his arms.
Yeah.
And he just like stood there after he made it. Just like, yeah, I knew it was going in.
Mm-hmm.
It's just unreal. They still suck at defense, though. I'm not gonna.
Let's
not totally praise them. They're terrible defensively.
I mean, that's why I'm the one who's super hesitant if they're still going to make the finals. I mean, it's probably going to happen, but if
there's just nobody in the East that's gonna.
It's more so, I guess, than that they might not win the finals. Then I guess.
Yeah, that's definite because obviously, we've talked about the Warriors. I think last time we talked about if the Warriors are healthy, nobody probably can beat them.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and then you have your own thoughts about if the Rockets were to play the Cavs in the finals. I know you love the Rockets. So
I just haven't seen them play this team though. Like the Rockets that they played were the old Cavs. I mean the Cavs when the Rockets played the Cavs, it was the old Cavs. So I don't know how they would match up with these guys.
Right. So let's move on just real quick and touch briefly on the injuries to Kyrie Irving and Steph Curry, and just real briefly because this could have some implications as far as the playoffs go. So Curry's out for.
Wow.
Steve Kerr said, was it today? I think it was today or yesterday that he will not. He's like, don't even expect him to be close to playing in the first round. Like he's not going to play.
And then Kyrie, he's pretty much in the same boat. It's pretty much expected that he's not playing in the first round.
Kyrie, they specifically said 3 to 6 weeks. So if he's on the long end 6 weeks, that puts you into May. So you're firmly probably into the second round.
Yeah.
If they get there, because the Celtics were good this year, but without Gordon Hayward and without Kyrie, like their number one scoring option is Al Horford.
Yeah. And he's soft.
If they face Milwaukee in the first round, and the Greek Freak
goes on a tear
is going up against the Celtics without Kyrie, without Gordon Hayward, that could be an upset in the first round.
The Milwaukee has several other solid players on that team too, so it's not like it's just him. But
I think the Celtics will definitely struggle offensively.
We're in agreement though that the Celtics are dead, right, for this year as far as title hopes.
Title hopes for sure.
Yeah.
And even with Kyrie,
and then
even with Kyrie, there's no way that they could beat the Cavs in a 7-game series.
I don't think so.
And
this goes back to the whole in a 7-game series.
Yeah, and even the Raptors. I mean, the Raptors, the way that they're playing, I can't see, even with Kyrie, I can't see Boston beating Toronto.
Right.
I don't see it.
All right. So how does this play in for the Cavs then, with Kyrie and Steph? How does that play for? Does that ruin the chances of the Cavs maybe facing Golden State Warriors in the finals again? Does this?
Yeah.
Does this?
I think if Steph is not fully healthy, absolutely. It's not a guarantee that the Rockets are going to go, but I think that makes it a lot higher chances that it could be the Rockets.
I agree.
Yeah,
I definitely, because if he misses the first round and say they get say right now, I think the 7th seed in the West is Minnesota. If the Warriors don't have Steph Curry, Minnesota can be a tough matchup for him, but I still see the Warriors getting by Minnesota.
Yeah. Without a doubt. But it could be a 5-6 game series. Right?
Well, yeah, I think it.
It could even go 7. I mean, you never know.
Yeah, 5 for sure. I mean, but even when Steph Curry comes back, I mean, it's the playoffs, so he's going to try and get back before he probably really should.
Right.
So there's still that lingering effect, and it's Steph Curry's lower body. So, I mean, we
remember what happened in 2016 when he wasn't fully healthy too.
Yeah, and his career was almost derailed originally because of ankle injuries. Yeah. So, and he's had knee injuries before, and
right. So you never know.
Especially with a shooter, with your legs being taken out. I mean, that
jacks up your shot.
That's really tough.
So just real quick, on a scale of 1 to 10, what do you think the chances are that the Cavs get to face the Warriors again in the finals, as it stands right now?
That's tough because, I mean, we go back and forth on the Rockets. My feelings on the Rockets.
I'm going to have to give a caveat. If the Warriors are healthy, the chance is probably like an 8. If the Warriors aren't healthy, and I mean like one of those players is out, I think it goes down. It's a 50-50 chance.
Yeah, I agree with you. If the Warriors lose one of their top 4 and they play the Rockets, it's probably 50-50.
Yeah.
But I whether Kyrie's in or not, I definitely think that the Cavs are going to the finals. So I guess it just matters.
Yeah.
Most likely between the Warriors and the Rockets who they would play, but you don't know. You got any thoughts, Jimmy?
I just don't see the Rockets getting there. I don't.
With a healthy Warriors team, or even with
I think they can only afford, of the big 4. I think they. I don't even want to say they could lose Draymond and make it. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think they need those 4, but the whole Clay injuring his shooting hand and Steph, he's not going to be the same when he returns.
Yeah, we can talk about Steph, but Clay's injury is also
that's huge. He's been so crucial. I mean, he's the reason why they beat Thunder in 2016 because he went on those like ridiculous 3-point streaks in like the 3rd and 4th quarters in like I think game 6 and 5 and 6.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not too worried about Clay coming back and performing well. There's literally a video of him shooting with his left hand.
Yeah.
And it looks normal.
His form looks exactly like it does.
No, he's insane.
It's unreal. Let's kind of switch gears. So the Indian season starts on Thursday, guys.
Oh gosh.
Home opener is April 6th. Obviously, we're excited to go to some games, but there's a pretty big storyline. Michael Brantley was placed on the DL to kind of start the season. There was the talk back and forth on whether the Indians should pick up his option this year for $13 million, and they did. And now you see that he's starting the season on the DL. I think this is mainly just precautionary. He was. If you guys hear the clattering of feet on the ground, that's Champ. That's my dog. He's not being very cooperative right now. So
I'm not even sure if it would pick it up. It probably does.
Yeah.
But if you hear it, that's what that is. If you guys are wondering,
we'll upload pictures of Champ sometime.
Yeah. But anyway, I think the Brantley stuff is just precautionary. He was playing in some spring training games leading up to this news that he's going on the DL. I don't think it's going to be much more than like a week. Maybe he misses the first homestand or the first road trip when the season opens, and he could be on the opening day roster when they come home for the home opener. But I don't.
Or maybe that's the goal too. Maybe they just want to be ready to go.
It could
for
be.
The home opener.
Yeah, it could be. But yeah, I just
it's a bummer. I mean, Brantley's always been one of my favorite Indians players because
Dr. Smooth, man.
Yeah, I mean, even before the Indians were good in the current batch of good Indian players, like he was always the fun guy to watch, and he made it fun to go to to actually pay attention to the Indians.
Yeah, I'm excited. It's Chris Antonetti, the Indians president, was on one of the radio shows this afternoon, and he was talking about how excited he was for the season. Obviously he's got to say that, but right. One of the guys he was actually talking about specifically was Jason Kipnis, just being on a tear this spring, and if he can come back and play like he did, I think it was 2 years ago when he was an All-Star, that's huge. And the biggest thing for him is he was healthy this spring. Last year, he wasn't healthy in the spring. And
in fact, he missed spring training, didn't he?
Yeah, he missed pretty much all of spring training and was injured intermittently throughout the year. And that just derailed any sort of good season he would have had. And it really hurt the Indians because...
it's kind of a void in his spot. And when he would play, he just looked so out of character.
Yeah, and when he got hurt, they had to slide Jose over to over to second base. And then so it created the... void at third. I think we played Urshela most of the time at third, but
which he was a hit or miss. Like he'd have really good defensive plays, and then he these ridiculous
he's known for his defense. He's not really a hitter, so we kind of lost that offense with Kipnis.
Right.
So it's interesting. I think just because of the lack of strength in the division, the Indians are probably going to cakewalk to the playoffs again. Mm-hmm. I think probably if the Indians get to 90 wins, I think they're going to win the division. I think the Twins can be good. I think they're a year away, and then the rest of the division is pretty much trash.
The Tigers are trash.
Tigers are trash. The Royals have started to sell off.
Oh, they're really trash. In fact, they're projected to have one of the worst lineups.
Yeah, the White Sox are very young.
Yeah,
they have a good farm system that they're bringing up. But
the Twins, I feel like the Twins might be a legit threat.
Yeah, they can be, especially.
I mean, even last year for a while they were kind of a threat,
especially if they're close and are buyers at the trade deadline. They're like one starting pitcher away. I think they have a really good lineup, but their starting pitching's lacking a little bit. Yeah. But I think if the Indians stay healthy, that's the biggest thing. The Indians have by far the most talent in the division. If they stay healthy and they produce the way that they should, they'll run away with this division.
I think it was MLB.com or one of the major sports publications ranked the Indians as the second best lineup after the Astros.
Yeah.
Which, that's a little subjective, but I think that's interesting.
It's about health for them.
Yeah.
Brantley, they'd lost Santana and Bruce, so Brantley and Kipnis, they need them to, number one, stay healthy and get back to their all-star form for sure. So, we're super jacked about the Indians starting up on Thursday.
It's going to be a fun season. I mean, when you got Ramirez and Lindor on the team, like as simple as that sounds, it's so much fun to watch.
Plus the back end of their bullpen with Allen and Miller.
Yeah.
And then the Indians starting pitching is second to none.
Top notch, yeah.
So, we're excited to go to games this summer.
We went to a lot last year.
We did. But, I mean,
birthday party at a game again, Dan?
Yeah, right. Well, it's coming up. It's coming up.
Think about it.
Friday the 13th.
Ooh.
It's going to be fun. Going to Indians games was...
It's fun.
It's my favorite sporting event to go to.
It's pretty much my favorite summer thing.
There's nothing like a summer night.
No. You get off of work.
Progressive Field.
You meet with the bros, and then you go. You maybe get some food and drinks before, maybe. But you get in that game, you get your first beer, your hot dog or your sausage, and you just sit down and just chill.
No, seriously, the energy is ridiculous, and I've really grown fond of going to Indians games, and I look forward to going a few more.
Yeah, I forgot that Dan is 5.
Please forgive our friends'
soundboard, man.
It's coming.
I gotta sneak in some euphemisms in these podcasts.
All right, let's transition into our favorite love-hate relationship.
By far.
The Cleveland Browns. Paulie.
Big news.
Yeah, so what do we want to tackle first?
So-
I know that there's been some hype regarding the number 1 pick and who the Browns might take. There's some big rumors on there that they actually might like Allen better. You know, do you think that hype's real?
You know, I heard a segment today, segments of Mike Mayock just going on and on and on about Josh Allen. And there's no question, he can throw a deep ball. And the guy looks like an NFL quarterback. He's what, 6'5", 230-some pounds.
Looks like Roethlisberger.
He looks like Roethlisberger. He looks like he's built to be a quarterback, especially in a division like the AFC North. But here's the problem. Now, not to make anything more out of what Sam Darnold's pro day was, but he was willing to throw in the rain. Again, you're still in shorts and a t-shirt. But he was willing to face the elements. Josh Allen stayed indoors. Yes, he threw some beautiful deep balls, which are excellent, but that guy cannot throw a short pass. And that's crucial. And especially when you just picked up someone like Jarvis Landry and you're looking for someone to pick up some key third downs on short routes, you need a guy who can get him the ball.
Yeah.
And if you got a guy like Josh Allen, who makes me think of, not saying he's the same player, but when we had Derek Anderson, yeah, that guy could chuck the ball down the field.
Or even like Whedon.
Even Whedon.
Yeah.
We've had quarterbacks with really strong arms, but that could not handle the touch passes. And so I think what it is more is just that you look at the raw potential of Josh Allen, and it's whether or not you think that that's worth the number 1 overall pick. Whether you think that his potential ceiling is worth facing the risk of what could be just a tremendous flop.
Yeah. No, I generally agree with what you said. It's interesting. I heard Jordan Palmer has been like kind of the quarterback coach for Sam Darnold and Josh Allen this offseason. And he was quoted as saying that he hasn't seen anything like Josh Allen before, ever. I don't know what that means.
It could mean a lot of things.
It could be physically, the fact that he can throw the ball 80 yards just by flicking his wrist.
I could see that. I could definitely see that.
I just don't know what that means. I know he's just, he's his coach, so he's trying to hype him up. I've heard off and on that the Browns were actually interested in Josh Allen throughout the whole process. I don't know that I buy it. There's a lot of smoke out there, and every team and their GMs and their personnel people are going to try and throw everybody else off the scent,
Right.
rather for leverage for a trade, where they don't want somebody ahead of them picking their guy.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out because, the Browns don't have to worry about somebody picking ahead of them because they have the number 1 pick. It's going to be interesting to see who picks ahead of them at 4, because like we talked last time, it looks like quarterback could go 1, 2, 3. That depends on what the Giants do. If they smell like a team's desperate, like maybe Buffalo, they could totally fleece them to try and move up to 2 to get their guy. I've heard they really like Josh Allen, so maybe that's the fit. Maybe the Browns are throwing it out there that they love Josh Allen because maybe they want to fleece Buffalo. So who knows?
Yeah.
It's just a lot of conjecture.
A lot of conjecture. And another thing I'll touch on the Josh Allen thing, and this is one of the things that honestly concerns me the most. His completion percentage is atrocious. He never completed higher than 56% of his passes in games that he started. And an interesting thing about completion percentage is that I remember distinctly Brian Billick talking about back when the Ravens drafted Kyle Bowler. And he said that they opted to look over his accuracy issues and figured that he would just develop into the quarterback that they needed. Yeah. The only thing that kept them relevant was the fact that they had Jamal Lewis and they had the Ravens defense. And he goes on record admitting that was a mistake. Another example is Joey Harrington. Joey Harrington was another quarterback who was very inaccurate in college.
Joey Harrington.
But it's true. And the Lions drafted him, and that was also a terrible mistake. Mm-hmm. So, again, like I said, Josh Allen, he looks great. I mean, yeah, you want a big body at quarterback, and he's got a heck of an arm, but an arm isn't everything. You got to have everything else. And I just think that like you said, with all these trade possibilities for him, it's a lot of conjecture too.
Mm-hmm.
It's just too much of a risk, I think. It's falling in love with something that's not necessarily there.
Yeah. So, has your thoughts for 1 and 4 changed at all since we last spoke? I'm trying to think back and remember kind of who had what for the Browns at 1 and 4. I think I was Darnold and Chubb.
I think you had Barkley.
Did I?
I think you had Barkley at 4. I think I was making the case for either someone like Chubb or Fitzpatrick. Honestly, I mean, the more I think about it, especially considering the fact that the Giants traded away.
That's right. I think the Browns are going to go Darnold and Chubb if Chubb's there, but I want them to go Darnold and Barkley.
I mean, me personally, I think it'd be a smarter move to go defense, but honestly, if the Browns pick one of those guys, Barkley, Chubb, Fitzpatrick, or Ward, someone like that, honestly, I'm not going to be upset. To be honest, getting a guy like Barkley would be extremely exciting because that means you literally just drafted your offense for the future.
Yeah.
So I don't think you can be upset about that. I really don't think you can. And an interesting thing to think about the safety position, he's a bit of a risk, but there's that kid from Arizona who plays a linebacker safety hybrid, and he's potentially on the trading block. Or I'm sorry, did I say Redskins, right?
No, you said
Arizona.
Did I say Arizona? I'm sorry, I meant the Redskins. Cannot remember the kid's name for the life of me.
Are you talking about Junior Gillette?
That might be.
I know he's a free agent. I know that we're interested in him.
Junior Asparagus?
No.
We're not going there.
Not even close.
We're not touching on that. I just think
I don't know what you guys are talking about, but
yeah. No, I just think that'd be interesting because if a player like all right, we're stopping right there. I just think it'd be interesting to see that if a player like that is still in play for the Browns, that maybe that would change their draft position a little bit, where they would be willing to go for an offensive player like Barkley at number 4 if he's still available.
What would you like to see at 33 and 35? Because that's 1 and 3 of the second round.
Man, if there's a tackle worth his salt, because the Browns are not going to take a tackle at 1 or 4. If there's a tackle worth his salt, I feel like you got to go get him. Unless you have enough confidence in, what's his name? The tackle that they're thinking about sliding over to the left, the one that Joe Thomas
Sean Coleman.
Sean Coleman. If you feel comfortable enough at Coleman, then I think you leave picks 33, pick 65. I think you leave that for a skill position. If you don't get Barkley at 4, you go for another running back. Also, I wouldn't mind, if it's the right guy, I wouldn't mind the Browns getting another linebacker. Yeah. I think the Browns are getting strong on the defensive line.
They kind of haven't addressed that at all.
Not really.
I think maybe that's where Junior Gillette comes into play a little bit from Washington.
I think so.
If they're able to get something worked out with him.
Right, because if that happens, then I think that, again, that changes the whole draft dynamic. Yeah. But if something like that doesn't come about and you do get a player, say, like Barkley at number 4, then I think you want to maybe consider one of those positions like linebacker because, I mean, we have players that we like. We always have players that we like on the Browns, but the fact of the matter is are they actually the best that we can have at that position?
Yeah.
And, I mean, I like Kirksey. I like Schobert.
We're going to have Jamie Collins coming back.
Jamie Collins, if he stays on the field, he can definitely be a dynamic playmaker. Yeah. But you can always improve. And so if the Browns see a chance in those rounds to improve at linebacker, I think that'd be a great pick.
Yeah. I mean, there's always later rounds, too. We will have picks after those top 4, but I feel like those top 4 picks are where we need to get guys who are going to start and contribute for the Browns for, like, the next, hopefully, 5 to 10 years.
You need starters, yeah.
For me, if we do it the way that I would like to see them do it, with Darnold and then Barkley at 4, there's a lot of talk about Sony Michel, Darius Geis at like 33, the running backs. But if we address them at 4 with Barkley, I would love to see us either, if he's there at 33, or try and trade back up into the first round and get Cortland Sutton out of SMU. That guy is an absolute monster. He's a wide receiver. It's like 6'3", 6'4", 220, ran a 4.5 at the combine, catches everything. I mean, because I do think we need another wide receiver, and we're about to touch on that with a tasty rumor that came out today.
Jordan's been salivating over it.
Yeah, he's been pre-bleaching his hair.
The answer is yes.
So yeah, I would love to see Cortland Sutton somehow. The Browns get their hands on him. And then probably 35. If there's a tackle there, just to kind of bolster the group, because I think we're set at guard and center. But our tackles are a little bit of a question.
Yeah, and that would be the first time since I think 2009 that the Browns would have heavily focused on offense in the draft when they drafted Alex Mack.
Yeah.
They also drafted Mohamed Massaquoi and Brian Rabisky.
Oh, goodness.
I know, right? No, I trust John Dorsey's judgment.
And what was the other one? There was a third one.
Oh, Vekune.
Oh, yeah, the guy that didn't play ever.
Yeah, was out of the league within a year.
Yeah, okay.
So
this tasty rumor that
Salty.
savory.
Hey, whatever. You know what?
Where's that's what
Anyway,
she said.
Odell Beckham Jr.
I'm a fan.
Now, is it reasonable to believe, and do we want him on the team, are two totally different things? Because it's hard for me to believe that the Browns are actually in on getting Odell Beckham Jr.
I personally think this might be one of those things where his agent's trying to peddle him around so that the Giants give what he wants. So I don't think it's very realistic. I'm a big fan of OBJ. I just think he's cool and silly. I love that he's super childish. But then again, would you want him on your team? I'm not a Giants fan, so I don't care when he does something stupid. I'm not a Browns fan either, so I would love to be able to watch a Browns game and enjoy it. And he might make it. I'm just kidding. They might make it enjoyable, but I think no. I mean, if they don't have to give up too much for him, my layman's mind says, "Hey, absolutely, go for it." But would he be good if they have a iffy quarterback? Would Taylor, for now, that's a quarterback, right? Would he be able to hit him up?
Yeah, no, I think so. I think Odell Beckham Jr. is a talent that it doesn't matter who's his quarterback.
Okay,
he's going to get open.
Yeah.
But anyway, for me, like I said, obviously he's an incredible talent. The video that came out I think it was a couple weeks ago of him in a hotel room in France with there was a couple people in the room. There was a girl that was on the bed with him that was seen with a white substance or something. And it didn't say that Odell Beckham Jr. was doing anything.
Powder.
But he also had a what looked to be like a hand rolled type cigarette in his hand.
Oh.
Which could lead to something. But just that alone, and knowing who else we have at wide receiver, and Josh Gordon, who is literally one misstep from probably never playing football again, I don't want that in my life.
But he wrote that article or whatever.
No, it's...
Yeah, but that doesn't... I'm saying if he messes up one time, he's gone.
I'm just messing around.
No, but I agree with Dan. That's actually one of the first things I think of. I mean, don't get me wrong. On paper, my gosh, if you think about Josh Gordon, Odell Beckham Jr., and Jarvis Landry on the same field, that is arguably the best receiving core in the NFL. No question.
Yeah.
But
it's kind of weird to think that they're one...
It's
weird to think that could happen.
It's weird to think that it could happen. Yeah. But like Dan said, and I'm in agreement with that, is that you have a player like Josh Gordon. He's worked incredibly hard to get back on the straight and narrow, and to have such an eruptive personality like that, and someone who could very easily, I think, sway Josh Gordon back into old habits, I don't think it's worth it. And on top of that, the price you'd have to pay to get him, I don't think the Giants are going to accept anything less than maybe a mid-first round pick, which the Browns don't have, unless somehow they put together a trade that included next year's first-round pick, a couple of this year's mid-round picks, and I don't think that's something that Dorsey is willing to part with. I think he's looking to load the team with young talent and guys that he wants to bring in, and not a receiver who, one, is also coming off an injury, and two, despite his talent, he has a history of rubbing the wrong way. And especially with a coach like Hugh Jackson, I don't think Odell Beckham Jr. is a good fit.
Oh, well. Okay, so...
But just for sake of argument, if the Browns were in a position to get Odell Beckham Jr., heck, give him the 33rd and the 65th pick.
No, yeah, I would... Yeah, if there were no character issues... Well, I mean, if there were no character issues, we wouldn't be in this position. The Giants wouldn't be floating him out in trade talks, but... I wouldn't give up 1 or 4. I wouldn't do anything like that. Obviously 1, but 4 also. You could probably get 33 from me if you're talking about Odell Beckham. but I probably wouldn't go very much more than that because we're going to have to give him a huge contract extension.
Yeah.
And the Giants really aren't in a place of leverage with him because he doesn't have a contract. He didn't really play last year. He's told the team that he will not play unless he gets a new contract. So, out of his own mouth, he's not going to play again for the Giants unless they give him what he wants, contract-wise. And that's why I think that the Giants are talking about trading him. So the Giants have made it known that they don't really want him if this is how he's going to be. So you don't really have to, bend over backwards to make an offer to them.
No, you don't. And you raise a good point with the contract, too, because that's something you have to consider, too, is you have to consider contracts for Jarvis Landry. He's going to be looking for a larger contract. Yeah. Then you're also going to be looking for a top-flight contract for Odell Beckham Jr. And then if Josh Gordon pans out for the year, you're going to consider signing him.
Yeah.
Because I believe he's in the last year of his, what's the term for it?
It's this year and next year.
He has one more
this year he's an exclusive rights free agent, which means basically that he's a free agent, but the Browns are the only team that are allowed to offer him a contract.
Right. So are those? So you have to think about that too. Are those three contracts that you really want to deal with?
So then, and I believe next year Josh Gordon becomes a restricted free agent, which means a team can offer him a contract, but the Browns have the ability to match it. So, yeah, it's definitely an interesting dynamic. It's going to be interesting to see how it plays out wherever he goes, whether he stays in New York, whether he goes somewhere else. I know that the Rams are really interested, so that'd be interesting to see how that plays out. To be honest, I'm really happy with the way the Browns offseason's going. We'll see with the draft, but I'm really happy with the direction of the team. I mean, obviously, we couldn't have gotten any worse, but things are definitely starting to look up, hopefully.
Yeah, I agree.
All right.
So, all right, let's move into a little bit of the culture aspect of the podcast. So I just want to touch on this real quick while it's fresh in our minds. So Jimmy got to experience Angelos for the first time.
Yes, sir.
Half Price Monday.
Snap.
Yes, sir.
So,
first time.
Now, Jimmy, what did you say was your favorite pizza before you went to Angelos?
Favorite pizza? Ooh. It was the Great American Pizza.
In Brunswick.
Yeah.
Okay. So I mean, we may not necessarily ask you to compare, but how's it compare?
We're not going to ask you to compare.
So I went into this Angelos place. So I ordered the same thing that I would get at the Great American. So, I had to compare them side by side.
Jalapenos.
Except I had added jalapeno peppers. Wasn't a fan of it.
Added some jalapeno chips.
But overall, I think we rated it out of 5. I gave it a 4.15.
4.15.
4.15 out of 5. Yeah.
The
The crust was unbelievable. The toppings were wonderful. I don't want to say how much I ate because it'd be kind of disturbing if I disclose that information.
Let's just say that he enjoyed it.
There may or may not have been leftovers.
Yeah.
So what?
There were not. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
What?
That would be a whole pizza, right, guys?
What got points marked off for you? Because you gave him a 4.1, 4.15 out of 5.
So what happened to the other 0.85?
Yes. So the jalapenos weren't necessarily my favorite. So the pizza, some of the slices were a little flimsy. So that took a little off.
You like stiff pieces of pizza.
You'll have to forgive our spicy friend over here.
What is that supposed to mean?
Gordon Gonzalez over here.
That's Jimmy. He's the one that said it.
Yeah, I just had a bad flop,
Yeah, wow.
I had a bad flop,
Yeah,
as Barstool would say. But I think what really took it off was just not the pizza itself, just it was very cramped, like we were discussing the layout of the place.
Yeah.
I highly recommend it, though. It's just very cool vibe.
What about the price, though?
There it is again.
Oh, there it is.
Not even you brought that up. You have not said vibes yet.
Picture Jordan.
I didn't say vibes.
Jimmy said vibes before you did. Wow.
Man, that's too.
You're slacking.
I'm 0-2 as far as this podcast.
You are slacking.
Pricing was unbelievable. It was half price Mondays.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
To Angelos, and so a regular size pizza is it was $20.
With the amount of toppings you got,
you got
25.
You got like what, 4 toppings?
4 toppings. Yeah.
You got like $8 of toppings. So.
And it came out to 11.
Well,
bucks,
and Dan did it just to give everyone an idea. If you're not super into toppings, Dan did pepperoni.
Seriously, a pepperoni pizza.
$7.
It was a large pizza with just pepperoni, and it was Yeah, $7.
Yeah. And he got a side salad, so that brought it up to like $11. So
yeah.
Right. And he has 4 pizzas for tomorrow for lunch. So me and Dan were really disciplined for one of the first times. We saved exactly half our pizza, so we have a whole lunch tomorrow for free.
And a certain friend who should not remain named.
Jimmy did say
was not there to steal my pizza, so I actually have leftovers to enjoy.
Yeah.
But Paul also got the baby pizza.
I
which
did.
Makes no
sense.
sense.
I did. I was an infant tonight. But
it
seriously,
it's literally like $1 cheaper.
It was a wholesome baby pizza though.
Well, it was very thick. Yeah.
He got buffalo chicken and he got deep dish.
The deep dish, which that deep dish, my gosh, the crunch on it is incredible. Really so I think Angelos overall, I think we can agree, it's a nice place to where you can get the simple pizza.
Go there. Yeah.
But you can also get what you might consider the gimmicky pizza, and you'll still be satisfied. Which to me, gimmicky.
We also,
like
I think Paul, what you just said is the crux of Angelos. We also discovered today that is Wine Wednesdays, half off bottles of wine.
Wine
glass.
Wednesdays. No,
it's
half off bottles.
Oh goodness!
So if you want to spend more on pizza on one day of the week,
and then
have half off your bottle of wine.
Thursday, all drafts are $3,
which is a pretty decent deal.
Which is good.
Although what I suggest is when you're waiting in line for Angelos, which is almost always an hour wait because of how popular Angelos Mondays or whatever we call it is, there's a little Lakewood Village Tavern, which is just down the block, like a block or two. It's this hole-in-the-wall dive bar.
Diviest of dives.
Literally, it's not even marked in
There's
the front.
no sign.
Like, you just walk in, it's like, is this a house? Is this an apartment?
It is an abundance of divey.
Yeah. Interesting clientele sometimes. It's a hit or miss. It's sometimes it's just like all these like old people that look like they've seen a lot of stuff.
Yeah, but, we just got to drink. We drank. We had a beer for $1.75, and
they have really good prices, like great happy hour.
Yeah.
They had I think happy hours like all domestics are $1.75.
Domestics are $1.75.
They have a beer of the month, which right now it's PBR. So. We always go there. Actually, I think every time I've been to Angelos, I go there first, just while we're waiting.
Honestly, no, it's
just a good deal. Like you can have all that for under like $10-15.
You save a little money from buying alcohol at Angelos.
Yeah, which don't do it at Angelos. It's so expensive. It's stupid.
So awesome. So that was a great experience that we all got to share today. And now Jordan's really been looking forward to talking about this Puerto Rican restaurant. So Jordan, you want to talk about that?
Yes, it's called Rincon Criollo, and it is a Puerto Rican restaurant.
Can you say that one more time?
Nope. I'll say it again.
Keep in mind, he's saying that with a thick
mustache,
authentic mustache.
I do have a handlebar mustache.
He looks like Pablo Escobar.
I'm pretty excited about this right now.
He might get pulled over going home tonight.
You can see it on social media.
Yeah. Just look us up. Look me up. I'm actually not versed in Puerto Rican food at all. So
say that. Rincon
Criollo. Rincon Criollo. It looks like Rincon Criollo, but don't pronounce it like that.
We'll type it out in the description.
Yeah.
The video for you.
Definitely. Actually, seriously, because you might need help looking it up. It's 65th and is it Detroit or Lorraine?
Yeah, it's Detroit because you said it's right next to Brunuts.
Yes, right. It's literally across the street from Brunuts, if you know where that is. Gordon Square area. Very good place. The meals are huge, so be aware. They're huge meals. They're $10 each, every single meal, and it's you get Puerto Rican style rice and beans, which are very good. They're mild. They're not like crazy flavorful, but they're good. They have a lot of flavor though. And then you get your choice of meat. A lot of it's stews and like roasts.
Okay.
So what I got was the chicken stew. So imagine like crock-pot chicken with Puerto Rican flavors.
Okay.
And then they had pork, they had beef, like a roast beef kind of an idea, but Puerto Rican style. If there's any Mexicans or people who are familiar with Mexican food, it's very similar to guisado, which is just Mexican stew essentially. So it's just that idea where you're making a stew with chicken and or beef or whatever, So they had like several different options. They also have empanadas, and then they have all kinds of wacky Puerto Rican appetizers I've never heard. Like
that's awesome.
You can get like plantains, like those are pretty good.
Plátanos.
Yeah, plátanos. And then they have good breakfast as well. It's just a good place. They also have desserts. I didn't try them. Again, I couldn't even tell you what's good or not. I don't know anything about Puerto Rican dessert. But it's a pretty affordable place. It's got good food. It's not like a hole in the wall or anything like that. If people are iffy about that kind of place, it's a normal looking place. And it's in a fun part of town. what I did is I got brew nuts before, which is weird. I know I was craving brew nuts that day, and then I went over and got food at the Rincon. So
okay, so you say it'd be a good spot to, if you want to test the waters a little bit, maybe try something you haven't had, go for something that's authentic, but yet still similar to maybe something you have had, like you said, maybe a Mexican restaurant.
Let me put it this way: you try something like this, you're gonna get something that's different than your regular American fare and food, but it's not going to be like you went to an Indian place, which are so crazy sometimes.
Hold on,
like
what are you saying about Indian food?
No, Indian food's great, but I would not, for your average person, they don't like Indian. I feel like it's not a popular food. I don't know. Do you like Indian food, Dan?
Yeah, I can eat it.
See, but you go to eat Indian food and your mouth is just like.
It's not it's not like.
I love it. Don't get me wrong.
Right. I mean, it's good, but for Indian food, it's not like you're sitting at home thinking, man, I could go for some Indian food right now.
Right. All right. Well, I'm that guy.
I would do too. But
you said you're a nerd when it comes to food.
This totally derailed.
Nerd.
I could be wrong.
Okay.
People may do
all
that.
All I was trying to say was Puerto Rican food, according to Rincon, is not very crazy. It's very mild flavors, but enough flavor. You know what I mean? It's salty.
Plátanos.
I just want to get.
Empanada.
I just want to get triggered. That's all.
He's triggering us over here.
He's shook.
I'm shook. Just like when I was hearing Britney Spears earlier.
But no, that's awesome. I definitely look forward to trying it out and sharing it with friends. And that's one of the best things about finding new places is sharing it with friends, honestly.
Absolutely.
So speaking of new places, Dan, you said you've been looking forward to checking out Forrest City ShuffleBoard, and I feel like I've heard you mention it a few times. It's been a place you've really wanted to go to. So how was that this weekend?
Yeah, so this is a place that I've wanted to check out for a while. I've tried to get a group of friends to go there a bunch of times. It just always falls through, it seems. But one of my friends, Mikey, had his birthday party there Saturday night. So I got to go up there with a bunch of friends and just kind of hang out there. I loved it. I love the layout of the place. So when you walk in, when you walk up to it, there's a big patio on the left, which obviously is still kind of closed because it's still cold and it's Cleveland. But first thing you do when you walk in, all the walls are painted to make it look like kind of like an arena type atmosphere. I've never seen like professional shuffleboard or anything, but I can imagine like that's what it would look like. But as soon as you walk in, there's two types of shuffleboard, right? So I'm sure everybody here has seen like the tabletop like shuffleboard tables at like bars.
Yeah, that's pretty common. Yeah.
So they had two big tabletop shuffleboard tables, and we actually had those rented out for a few hours for the party.
Okay.
So that was fun. We were kind of concentrating our time there. When you walk past there, they have the bar set up there. It's just one straight line bar. They have a really cool Cleveland sign above the bar, which caught my attention right away. Their beer prices are really good. They had pretty much all of their beers that they had on tap were like from local breweries.
Nice.
Or at least breweries from Ohio. I had Masthead. They had there, but they had Great Lakes, they had Market Garden, they had all that stuff.
Right, Cleveland staples.
Yeah, and I really like the layout of the place. Right next to the bar, there was kind of this open area, so you never the place was busy, but you never really felt like cramped or we're just looking for a spot to stand. There was always spots, and then back in the back corner is where they have kind of the shuffleboard courts, where those are the ones that kind of have the triangle.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
The thing with the different spots with point values, and then you have like this little clay disc. You have this little clay disc that you kind of push with. I don't know what to really describe it, like a cue or a rake or something like that.
Yeah, like a stick.
Yeah, so that was fun. We did that at the end of the night, but they have like bleachers set up where people can like watch people play. I don't know if they have leagues there. I have no idea. This is the first time I've been there, but that was so much fun.
So the vibes were good though? Good vibes?
Yeah, and it was cool. They have food there, but the interesting thing about it is they have a kitchen. They don't actually have like a kitchen staff. Like they don't have their own menu. They have a rotating kitchen, and they have rotating food partners. So when we were there on Saturday, they actually had a Lebanese kitchen in there.
Wow.
It's called Zaytoun Lebanese Kitchen. And that I think they change it monthly because they said in April on their website this place called the Half Moon Bakery is going to be in there for April.
Okay, so this could also be an excellent spot just to, not only sample some local brews and just have a good time, hang out with friends, but it can also be an opportunity just for you to try some, some new food. It seems like on a regular basis instead of maybe traveling directly to that restaurant.
Yeah, and they have tables there where you can sit. It's not. I wouldn't really recommend it as a place to just go eat. Like you're going there to play shuffleboard or hang out at the bar. Like, you can order food and get it sent to you at the bar, but it was really cool. They always had people walking around asking us if we were okay. The service was really good. I would definitely give it 2 thumbs up.
Nice.
But I thought the atmosphere was great.
2 thumbs.
And I know Jimmy went out of 5 for Angelos. I'm going thumbs up.
And we'll have we'll figure out we'll figure out fractions or something.
Yeah, we need to figure out.
No, so this sounds like it'd be an excellent.
Like how many shrimps? 5 out of 5.
How many shrimps? 3 out of 5.
Yeah,
shrimps.
no, it's definitely a place that I want to go back to soon.
So how many shrimps would you rate it though?
Well, if it's 2 thumbs,
how many?
5 shrimps.
Well, if you give it 2 thumbs, I feel like that's all
Nah,
shrimps.
10 shrimps. Let's do 10 shrimps.
All right, we're just.
How many reams of paper, Dan?
Oh,
would you
man.
rate it?
How?
Shout out to the office.
I would go a Blue Cross Monday.
Oh, whoa.
3 pallets.
3 pallets.
Wait,
pallet.
So what is a pallet?
Okay, Michael Scott.
No, seriously, I definitely want to check this place out as well. It sounds like it would especially be awesome once the weather gets warm.
Yeah.
So this sounds like a great place.
I think they have a really cool patio. Like obviously they don't have it set up right now, but it's decent size for sure.
Yeah. So just speaking of bars, breweries, and things along that line, we found out some really what I think is pretty exciting news considering the beer scene in Cleveland. Jordan pointed this out to me today. Jordan, you said you found some articles from USA Today, just kind of pointing out really how Cleveland's climbed into the scene as far as it goes amongst just breweries and craftsmanship and stuff like that. So
I've always realized, and it's pretty hard to miss, but I've always noticed that Cleveland and Ohio in general, but Cleveland especially, has a really great beer scene and craft beer scene. I was just goofing around on Twitter today, and I follow USA Today, and they were like, someone, Scene Magazine subtweeted USA Today or something. They're like, Collision Bend Brewery won an award or something. And so I was like, I clicked on the link. So apparently USA Today did their top 10 brew pubs in the U.S. And Collision Bend Brewery won. They got number 1. So this is interesting. At first I was like, is this a gimmick? Is this shit? It's interesting because they picked 10 editors, like magazine writers and beer reviewers, and I looked up some of I have it right here. Like, I don't know who these people are. I'm not gonna pretend like I do, but I know the publications. So some of it, like craftbeer.com, What's on Tap, the Hop Review, Bon Beer Voyage. Like these are solid publications that are well respected within the beer community, and these people chose this list, and we're talking about competing against all the other big beer scenes and across the nation. Dan, you and me went to Collision Bend Brewery.
Yeah.
What did you think? To me, vibes were 10 out of 10. Location 10 out of 10.
You just had to drop it.
Had to drop it somewhere. The beer was pretty solid, but I love the location. You can't beat being right on the river, like in a beautiful patio. Wouldn't you agree? That's one of the
I
better
love it. Yeah, I love
patios.
their patio. They have a couple huge cast iron tables out there. We sat at one of them.
Yeah. They even had like a little. The only thing I think we didn't like was the food prices were pretty whack.
It's not cheap.
Yeah.
Even the beer, it's not cheap.
Right.
I think one of the brewers from Great Lakes is one of the guys that started it, and one of the chefs in town. I think they collaborated with like the food aspect and the.
I'll be honest though. I mean, you're paying the flats prices, which is not a shock, but I just don't recommend eating there. These people praise the food, and the food was good. I just think you could do better, and then go have some beers. It
would be a great place where after like maybe you had dinner somewhere else in the flats.
Get some brews.
Just go hang out on the patio.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. But it's a beautiful view. Summer night, you can't beat it.
Yeah,
so,
for sure.
Just out of curiosity, did you try the food, or is it just...
Oh, yeah, we did.
Okay.
We got pizza.
It wasn't bad.
No, it was good food.
It was good.
It's just we paid like $15 for what was essentially smaller than the pizza you had today.
It was like $15 for like a small
literally,
pizza.
like it was literally like a tiny little pizza.
And it was like a margarita pizza.
So it wasn't filling like it was...
7 toppings.
Yeah. Well, And honestly, like it doesn't even have to be the quantity, just the quality. But even that
you'd probably like the quality. I'm just telling you, your average person that's our age that doesn't make 80 a year, like would probably be like, ooh, I don't want to eat and drink here. I'd rather just drink here.
That might not be their target market though.
No, their market is definitely like the high business people that get off of work and
because I mean this is the number
like
one
people in their 30s, 40s, and 50s.
Well, like before you guys started working with me at Pioneer last summer, we had our sales meetings and our company actually rented out Collision Bend for like an evening. And they had like buffet style food and stuff. That food was great. I mean, they had tacos. They had they had taco bar. Wings, stuff like that. Like when you say taco bar and wings, you think like crappy bar food, but it was
actually good.
Gourmet tacos and gourmet wings if there's a such thing. But we just got to hang out on the patio and
you can't beat the patio. I cannot recommend it.
So much fun.
I think, but going along with that, the same series that USA Today is doing, they also did the top 10 beer scenes in the country. I was blown away. Cleveland, for like the third year in a row, has gotten 4th place, and this is interesting. Like, I mean, here I'm pulling it up right now, and of course it's not pulling up. Like,
I'm trying to remember. I know Asheville was listed there. I believe Asheville was number 10.
Here it is. All right, so St. Louis number 1, Grand Rapids number 2, which not a shock if you've ever been there. It's an amazing city. Richmond, Virginia number 3, Cleveland number 4, Fort Collins number 5, Tampa 6, Chicago 7, Minneapolis 8, Denver 9, and Asheville is 10. These were the same people that ranked the Collision Bend ranked these beer scenes, and
That's interesting because isn't Denver usually considered like
Denver's
a huge
crazy.
like craft beer market?
I lived in Denver. You couldn't hit up all the places if you wanted to. Like it is literally, I think there's over like 150 or 200 over there. Like
So, I guess what we're trying to say, just kind of sum up this is, obviously. You guys that are probably listening to have hit up a bunch of these places, but take advantage. And I'm not. And we're obviously responsibly.
Right. We
take advantage of the beer scene, the brewery scene in the city because it really is like it's starting to become more known.
Yeah,
but it is kind of one of those like hidden things about the city where like if somebody were to come into the city that doesn't live here, hasn't lived here for a while or something, or moved back from living
After
somewhere else for a while.
Well,
one of the first things they'll notice about the city is how big that's gotten. The microbreweries, the breweries, all that stuff.
And honestly, how big it's gotten. Just honestly, a lot of things in Cleveland.
It's crazy.
Back home, back where I'm from. Honestly, it's even trickled down to there. Back in Lisbon, Ohio, Salem, Ohio, Columbiana, Ohio, where I grew up. There's breweries that have stemmed from up here that have Cleveland roots. Guys that have left breweries from up here to create their own.
Right.
And so I think that testifies to it too. The fact that people are, they feel strongly enough about what they're doing up here and that they're trying to take it into like some of the smaller rural areas of Ohio where there is a market for good beer. They just need to bring it.
Right, I agree absolutely, and it's just cool. It's cool that we have this here. I just think a lot of people aren't aware of it. Like this isn't even about let's go get drunk. No, breweries aren't about that. Breweries are just going and chilling. You're drinking good
West
high
6
quality.
is about going out.
Well, that's what West 6, West 25th. But this is about going with friends, family, and just chilling, having good beer, and then amazing food too. A lot of these breweries have great chefs and just good food. It's a step above bar food, I would say. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
It's kind of on the same vein, but it's above bar food. Pretty cool.
Yeah. So just kind of transitioning into kind of what we want to talk about last.
You heard it here first.
Yeah, that's a new word.
What's that?
Anyway,
when the blood of Jesus turns into
transitioning?
No, there's transubstantial. I don't know what the word is.
Anyway.
So
we're gonna get a little religious right here, folks.
We talked about St. Patrick's Day last day. Cleveland, we've got Dyngus Day coming up. So Paul, kind of tell us about Dyngus Day. What is Dyngus Day? Why is it big in Cleveland? What kind of things do you look to do on Dyngus Day? What kind of food do you like to eat for Dyngus Day? All that kind of stuff.
Kind of a weird word.
So the thing about Dyngus Day is you can sort of liken it to honestly St. Patrick's Day except for Polish people. I would say more tame.
Vodka and pierogies.
I would say a lot more tame though. Yeah. And it's enjoyed quite responsibly. But seriously, so what Dyngus Day is the day after the Lenten season. So much like how you have Fat Tuesday, where you load up on pastries and just gorge yourself before you get into the Lent season and you fast or whatever you're doing. This is the day after, so this is the exact opposite.
Gorge ourselves
again. You're gorging yourselves again. No, seriously, you do it before and you do it after. You bookend it.
Right.
So this is an opportunity for you to sample a lot of local Polish fare because Cleveland has a very strong Polish population. And, just like how there's, a strong Irish population in Cleveland, it's the same for the Polish population, and especially here in Parma, you see a lot of it. But you also see it littered throughout the greater Cleveland area. So this is a chance for you just to sample local Polish fare, get in some, zany traditions, fully be expected to get squirted with a squirt gun, because it's also referred to as Wet Monday. Hey, now.
Hey.
No, seriously, people will walk around with squirt guns and just squirt you. And you can also get what is known as pussy whipped.
Yeah.
So, wow, there's all these really close words.
There actually is a story behind that.
It's not.
I'm sure there is.
It's clean. It's PG.
Literally a word that.
It has to deal with saving kittens. I can't go into it right now.
Oh, like a pussy cat.
But no, so this started 8 years ago. I
just want to say that word again.
What?
Nothing.
Shut up.
All right. Anyway.
So this started 8 years ago. And I actually got to work with the gentleman who started this in Cleveland, who helped to get this started.
So Dyngus Day in Cleveland started 8 years ago.
Huh. It's huge in Buffalo. I would say Buffalo is probably the hub, the mecca of Dyngus Day celebration.
Okay.
But Cleveland is definitely up there. And I got to work with, his name's Justin Gorski, also known as DJ Kishka, probably the best polka DJ in Cleveland. And he's really been the forefront of this.
Honestly, some polka vibes.
No, honestly, I consider him the celebrity of this whole thing, no question. He fronts this thing. He's done an excellent job. He and his wife, Laura, putting this thing together. All right. And so this year, they are literally taking over a chunk of Gordon Square between 57th and 59th Street on Detroit. It's closed off. And so he's going to have, I believe, what's called the beer tent. You can actually find this on, I believe it's Cleveland Dyngus or ClevelandDyngusDay.com. I know, it sounds funny saying it.
You're a dingus.
I know. But no, there's a slew of activities. There's going to be a parade, and you can find hubs they mostly focus in Gordon Square. That's the big one. But you also find some in Ohio City, and you also find some in Tremont. So you can spread yourself around a little bit. People will be focusing on Polish beers, Polish drinks, obviously Polish food specials, things like kielbasa and pierogies, and punchkis especially. Can't forget the punchkis, which are a big Fat Tuesday thing, but also a Dyngus Day thing. And my gosh, do I love them. Which Brunuts, by the way, is going to be doing a special with punchkis.
Brunuts is the best. So we can't say enough about
So keep an eye out for that. Definitely check that out. But I think it's just another great ethnic festival because Cleveland has strong European ties. And, you get to do St. Patty's Day and you're like, oh, okay, well, what else is there? Hey, guess what? When Lent is over, you get to do Dyngus Day. And you get to go out and do the same stuff all over again. So, only with a Polish flair. And maybe you get to see Big Chuck. I'm not sure. But I've gone a couple years. I haven't made it the past few, so I'm super excited to go this year, share it with my friends. It's just a nice, it's another thing that just embodies Cleveland. And it's just where the locals come out and really make it something special. And
what day of the week is this again?
So this is going to be Monday, April 2nd. And things start beginning of the day. And
run St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah, no, they start beginning of the day. It's a Monday, but they start beginning of the day. You got people with drink specials, food specials, activities.
They have a DJ named DJ Kishka.
Oh, that's Justin, DJ Kishka.
Oh, Kishka. Sorry,
Kishka. He knows him.
Yeah,
do you really?
Yeah, no, actually, and I just started working with him.
Who stole the Kishka?
Who stole the Kishka? Yeah, at least everyone sings on that one.
And what's Miss Dyngus?
So, Miss Dyngus. There's the Miss Dyngus pageant.
Feisty.
So Justin helps narrow down. It comes down to about typically 6 or 7 finalists. You have to be of Polish descent. You can't just be a.
It's racist.
I know, right? You have to be of Polish descent.
Hold on.
He shook.
Are these Miss Dynguses?
Yeah, we're on the website right now looking at former Miss Dyngus Day winners.
Are they young or old? I can't tell from this.
What?
Because apparently your glasses
does it matter what age?
I can't. It literally
honestly,
is so
no.
far
Honestly,
away.
no. There have been, if I remember correctly.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, you can ask me.
Right.
You can ask me. I'm right here.
Some would say otherwise.
Good vibes. Anyway, so the Dingus Day...
This legitimately sounds cool. I just hate that it's on a Monday.
No,
I guess we could party after work.
The Dingus Day pageant, just real quick, you get 6 or 7 Polish gals. They go through a series of tests. It'd be like trivia on Polish history, maybe a sauerkraut eating contest, something ridiculous.
Oh, that's real.
And eventually someone gets crowned and they get paraded around, and they basically get to hang out with DJ Kishka for the rest of the day, which I think is pretty cool. So, no, seriously, it's definitely worth checking out. It's something you can do with family very easily. It's also something you can do with friends. It's just another great Cleveland tradition that you can check out.
The food sounds good,
Oh, no question. You get some of the best food trucks.
I think that's for a lot of people, that's what it makes these things fun. Like, you can try new food and stuff.
Oh, yeah. No, absolutely.
I have a special announcement. It says that DJ Kishka?
Yes,
Kishka. Is marrying a lucky couple.
That's right.
Oh, wow.
They're having a wedding.
Another reason to check out Dyngus Day.
I think 4:30?
10 a.m. is the opening ceremony, and then it says 10:30 to 3 p.m. that he... it's 4 o'clock.
Okay.
Oh,
4 o'clock's away. So, if you look on the website, you'll find a whole itinerary for all the different areas. You'll find Gordon Square, you'll find Tremont, you'll find Ohio City. And you can kind of plot out your day from there.
And this is literally, to clarify, because I find this fascinating, this is literally a thing that started only recently in Cleveland.
No, it's a real Polish holiday.
No, I get that, but I mean, as far as Cleveland having
as a full-blown celebration in 2010, so I got to experience it while it was still kind of in its infancy, back around 2012.
Okay.
And it's really grown. I can't remember how many thousands of people are expected to show, but it's another solid turnout. And it's just a nice gem. And I think it's only going to continue to grow and just really build on that whole Cleveland scene, Cleveland experience.
I think it's cool they're doing it in Gordon Square, too.
It's awesome. It's just another thing that embraces the culture of Cleveland. So, super
just
excited.
To sum it up, go check out Dyngus Day.
Yes.
Yeah.
Check out Dyngus Day. Tell DJ Kishka you know me, and he'll hook you up.
Go get it.
All right.
But don't tell him I said that.
Awesome. Well, that's pretty much going to be it for us tonight, guys.
We're about 45 minutes shorter than last time.
Yeah, how about that? What you guys got anything fun coming up this weekend? Any plans you guys got? Anything?
I did have something that I was doing this weekend. What am I doing this weekend? I don't know. I don't have anything planned. Nothing specific.
Well, while Jordan's thinking of that, no, there's so.
Jordan lives a very boring and worthless life.
Yeah, I don't do anything. I usually just go home right away after work and just sleep.
When Jordan comes in to work on Monday and he asks me how my weekend was, I proceed to tell him, and then I don't bother asking him how his weekend was. I just leave it at that.
My weekends are always
It's full of dark alleys. And
I woke up in East Cleveland and it was crazy.
But no, but seriously, so I have an obsession with barbecue, and the other day, going down Madison, unless my eyes were deceiving me, which is quite possible, there appeared to be what is a barbecue joint tucked in what looks like to be a car garage.
Oh.
And I have to check it out.
Might need to hit it up.
I am going to check it out. My expectations are really high, so I might come down from Cloud 9. But this is super exciting because there's a lot of the standard ones, and I'm really excited to try the ones we've already talked about. Jordan and I talked about this a lot.
Yeah. We still need to try Woodstock, too.
There's Woodstock, Ohio City Barbecue. We need to go back to Proper Pig. You have Mabel's.
Next time on Living Off the Land, we'll have brisket marinated in motor oil.
Well, that's how you get that's how you get the bark. That's how you get that dark outside color.
Sure. That's why your ribs taste so good.
But only if you use W30.
Yeah.
You don't want.
All right.
What are we doing?
There it is. And scene.
Hey! I feel like on Thursday we should get those giant beef ribs at Proper Pork.
Your favorite barbecue joint.
Not the Proper Pig, the Proper Pork.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm kidding.
Goodness.
Proper Pig. We should do that maybe. All right. Anyways.
Yeah. So for me, I am trying to find a way to get to the queue on Saturday.
Now I see why he wanted to talk about weekend
plans. Found out that our boy Jimmy over here already has tickets.
What?
Birthday
to
boy.
go see JT,
My
Justin
sister.
Timberlake.
No, but seriously, yeah.
So Jimmy's got tickets already.
Are you jealous, Paul, that he's taking your sister?
Can you stop ruffling that paper while we're recording?
Yeah, it's bad. That's probably really loud.
So anyway,
Yeah,
I'm trying to go to JT on Saturday. I'm trying to find tickets. I am gonna be really pissed if I can't get tickets.
So if anyone who hears legitimately, if you know of any way or someone who's selling a ticket, give it to this man.
Yes,
please.
It is my birthday coming up, so it'll be a nice.
No one deserves
birthday.
it more than he.
That's right.
That's true, actually.
That's right.
Because he is a legit JT fan.
That's right.
Oh,
I've probably watched the Super Bowl halftime show from the show 50 times.
Now that's how you know he's a true fan, because many people consider that show to be awful.
Comment below on the video.
Did you see Dan's face? He's like, what?
And on that
You've
note,
said a lot of obnoxious things. That's one of the most
note,
obnoxious things.
Hey, I'm just speaking for the people, not for myself.
Yeah, which people are you talking about? The ones that have terrible taste in music?
But I feel like the feelings are very mixed on that.
They are
halftime
mixed.
show.
Yeah, but I don't know why.
It's just like Fergie's national anthem.
Hurry up. I am so thirsty. I need some water right now.
Okay, but in all seriousness, so we've got some things coming up. We're going to be trying out, obviously, a couple new joints. We're going to be more than happy to share them with you next week.
For sure, by next episode, I will have a full review of La Plaza.
La Plaza Supermarket. Looking forward to it.
If there's anything that we haven't talked about as far as restaurants that you would like us to check out, maybe that you guys have, had yourself and really like and want us to check it out.
Just comment below on the video,
Yeah, comment below.
Yeah.
And also, just kind of leading into that.
I don't know what's so funny about that.
I have literally Jimmy was pointing at something. I don't know what he was doing.
I was motioning comment below.
Oh, okay.
I was trying to get ahead of you.
Yeah. So anyway, that kind of leads me into definitely check us out on YouTube. Our first episode is up on our YouTube page, Living Off the Land. We're going to go YouTube route to kind of start off. Hopefully we're going to be able to tap into iTunes and SoundCloud or, maybe Spotify. We don't know.
SoundCloud rappers.
But we'll just play that by ear. And then also, please keep a lookout for our social media accounts.
That's dropping soon, right?
We're gonna drop that soon. We're kind of working on some artwork for a logo that we want to kind of debut with the social media aspect. So keep a lookout for that. Check us out on our personal social media pages. Yeah. Once again, let's just go through that. Jordan,
you can find me at... The only ones that are important are Instagram and Twitter for me, and you can find me at Jordo Gonzo. It's JordoGonzo.
Jimmy?
So I actually recently changed. I was James Pisarcik for a while. Now I'm Jimmy, because everybody's known me for Jimmy for 19 years of my life. So just Jimmy Pisarcik, and that's Pesarchick.
And you're 21, right, Jimmy?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, totally.
Okay, so only 2 years you didn't have people calling
you. And for me, myself, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Chef Baker. That's ChefBaker.
All right, and then as for me, I'm just at Daniel J. Ford, Twitter and Instagram. Check me out. Just usually tweeting and posting pictures. Well, tweeting about Cleveland sports.
Or JT.
Or
dogs.
No, that's my Instagram. My Instagram is basically just my grandmother's food and my dog.
That we heard this entire episode.
Probably heard chewing on his bone or prancing around the... not prancing, he's a man. Or strutting around...
Why can't a man prance?
Yeah, what is this? This is a liberal podcast.
I don't know. No, there's
one.
Never mind. Anyway, check us out. Social media, YouTube, all that good stuff. We'll be back hopefully soon. Drop another episode with some more sports talk, some more restaurant bar reviews, and some more stuff going around Cleveland. But just wanted for Jordan, Paul, Jimmy. I'm Dan. Just remind you guys that we're just a couple guys living off the land.
That's right.
That's right. It's been fun.
All right.